we're gonna get to an exciting point finally. I'm gonna get to this lotus back here. Yeah, I'll show you some unfortunate news. Hello, and thanks for spending some time with me today. In this episode, we're going to start removing this body from the lotus and get that done. In the previous episode, I explained kind of what we're going to get to on this, and it's going to be a restoration. And for those that want to see how to remove the body of a lotus, see a lotus, and those that, the few of you that maybe have a lotus and are going to remove the body, this might be a little how-to as well. This particular one is a 1989 Lotus Esprit Turbo, but I think they, for their many years of run and decades of run that they had, they're all about the same, how to take them apart pretty much. So I think we're going to just start with the basics and go from there and see how far we get today. So let's get going. First thing we're going to do is come with me and we'll take the battery out. It's always a good start. The battery is back in this corner right there. So the next step is we're going to drain the fuel tanks, which I'm curious how bad that fuel looks after sitting there a while. It did start obviously, but I don't imagine it's great fuel. And the best way to maybe do that is, you may recall that these have split fuel tanks on right and left here, and how that you can fill from either side is you've got this cross piece. It's a pipe basically here. That's part of your, actually bolted to your frame, or might even welded. I'm not sure how it sits in there, but anyway, I'm just going to basically take one of these hoses off and drain the fuel. I don't remember how much fuel's in here, so I'm gonna not just crack it wide open. I'll try to keep it so I can, in case it fills up. And then I gotta fill the tank up, another jerry can up. It's gotta be disconnected anyway. Move the chassis. We're going to make a mess. I am getting really full of fuel here. Woo! We got some fuel. So after taking a bath of fuel, as you've seen in that footage, I am going to remove, actually, I'll call these the bridge fuel hoses. I might have to replace them. They're pretty brittle. I'll see if I can get them or what I can do to get that same type of angle that's there. And that's the other one. We'll remove those now. Since I'm up here, I'm going to remove these ground straps to the body before I forget. There's one on each side. Now we're going to remove some seat stuff. these bolts here. There's 4 of them. That's the front one. There's one on the back, and there's 4 because there's 2 and 2. There's one on this side too, if you can see it there, right there. There we are. And then one way back in there, and the same on the other side as I showed you. I gotta try and get them out because this pedal assembly right here is attached to the chassis, the frame. So we got to remove those. Hey, wish me luck. Voila! These 4 bolts that I showed you, it took about 10 minutes per bolt. So 40 minutes basically to get these bolts out. But they're out. I hope that was the hardest part of the job, but we're not sure because we're just getting into it. Next, they're telling me to remove the console. Well, that's already been done in this car when I got it. So my thing will be getting the console. What the heck are those for? I have no idea. Okay, anyway, the console boot and everything is all taken apart. So that looks like it's free inside the chassis here. I can see it. That's where it's mounted already on the chassis. That's the chassis there. So I think we're good there. Now that we've done that already, which was already done for us, these bolts, which makes sense, the part of the seat belt have to be taken out. I hope they come out okay. We're gonna find out. I've heard that these can be seized. I'm not using penetrating oil yet. There doesn't seem to be a lot of rust in this car, but who knows? I guess we're gonna find out. Well, here goes nothing. Oh, she broke free, good. Oh, that's awesome. That definitely wasn't seized. We'll get that one out. So this is one of the 12 bolts that hold the body to the frame. Yes, there's only 12 bolts, slash nuts, I guess, whatever it is, that connect it. So I'm told. Here we go. That's free. Let's do the other one. See if this one goes as well as the last one did. Oh, yeah, no problem. No problem. A guy in the UK, it's called Soup. I gotta look that up, but I'll put it up there, actually what it is. But he does some stop motion on taking one of these apart, and it's a really rusted out one. And he's doing a lot of total restoration of it as well. Might want to check that out, but he had to use penetrating oil on everything like this one. I think he might even broke one of these off, if I remember in his video. I feel fortunate after seeing that. And that's that. Next, we're going to remove the brake lines from the master cylinder here. And I'm going to drain them. It'll drain this reservoir at the same time. What you do is you take them off, and then you're supposed to bend them so they go through the chassis down in there. See how they go through those grommets? Yeah, right in there. This one's got quite a hook on it, so I'll definitely have to be careful when I bend that. I do suggest always using flare wrenches for this. Very important. You see how they go inset, so you have less chance of stripping them. So I'm just going to let that drip basically overnight. It'll drain what's in there, and then I'll cap everything off to make sure it stays clean. And then I'll bend them so they can go through when we lift the body. You might have noticed that the clutch master cylinder was by where the master brake was, and I want to drain that fluid as well. So I'm going to go to the slave here and disconnect it. It's weird that I see it actually is using a hose clamp. I wasn't expecting that, but it's using this plastic hose actually, which I probably will replace with a stainless hose. I think I'm just going to maybe cut this one off actually. Yeah, I'm just going to snip this off. Okay, just let that drain. Guys, have a look at this. It has bolts, not wheel studs. It has lug bolts, not lug nuts. Why I took the wheel off is I need to take that steering knuckle off. That, I don't know if you can see in there. It's in there, up there. See if I can get that. Yeah, it's up there. Right in there. Gotta get that off. I don't think that's going to be easy because the steering wheel is basically staying with the car when we move the body, and the rack stays with the chassis. These guys got to go. So what you're looking at here is, this is for the heater core going into the under the dash, and this is for the brake booster itself here. Hey, come with me. I'll show you some unfortunate news, but we'll get through it. Let me show you. This is the oil plug, oil pan plug. And if you look, it is really rounded off. And I actually think it might be brass. Not sure, maybe it is because it's aluminum. I'm not sure why, but it is completely stripped around the edges, is rounded completely. I can't budge it. I don't know if it's seized or cross-threaded or what. So I can't really drain the oil. I tried a number of things. Of course, this bar is in the way to try and get much at it directly the way this is. So I have to pull the oil cooler lines at the front, and I guess that's the way we're going to drain this. As you can see, it's leaking crazily. And I don't know, like it goes way up, so it could be the valve covers, maybe the pan's leaking too, but we'll see. I might have to take the pan off to get this out. I'm not sure, but that'll be an engine out. So for now, I'm just gonna drain it from the front up there, and I'll show that to you. You can see this oil cooler here, and it comes to here. Let's show you these two guys. And I gotta take them out because this is kind of tied to the frame. It's tied to the radiator and everything, or sorry, the body. And I've gotta remove these so it can come or stay with the frame itself when the body's moved up. That's my next job now. I'm letting the penetrating oil do its work, or hopefully its magic, on the oil cooler lines. These are the lines themselves. I've got some, I don't know if you can see it, up here is a pock rivet just to drill out, because I gotta leave those lines kind of hang down in here, right there, and up in here. And we're gonna drill those out. Got a good drill bit, it's like butter. This is a hanger, and it's totally fused. I was actually hoping it would break off. You can see how it turns. I've tried vice grips, but I can't get enough grip on that. There's just not enough. So we're gonna take out a tool that's always fun to use. Hang on. Couple more to have fun with. If you can see in here, these bolts are seized up and I can't get at them because this is in the way, and I want to pull this out so I can lift it up and get a wrench on there. So, and then I was managed to get one out of here, and part of this one, and the vice grips are slipping, so I think I'm going to do the same with that wonderful, wonderful tool. Guys, come here and see what I found. Something really old. This guy here, gotta follow the wires. There, this kind of gives away what it is. It's an old school radar detector, front and back. I have no idea what year this is probably made, but it's old. I'm taking it out, by the way. If I do this, it'll be something more modern, but yeah, there's a little controller box. I have to look this up to see what year this is for sure. Just can remove it here because I took some of it out already. Yeah, pretty crazy. So what this tells me is somebody was speeding. So I've been soaking these for a couple days now in PB Blaster. I really don't know if they're gonna budge, But as you seen, I've got the stripped out oil plug to drain the oil, which I can't, which doesn't matter anyway in a way, but this is attached to the body, so we have to remove those lines in some fashion, or else the oil cooler, which means I would have to cut out. I'd have to cut out this area here, and I don't want to do that because then I'll have to fix it. If you notice, one of these is bent up, so it probably got, I don't know if it got hit or jacked on or whatever. Obviously it's holding, it's not leaking at all. What you're seeing there is PV plaster right now, but I don't know, maybe I'll have to try and straighten that out, but then I could crack things even worse. So we might just leave it, no one sees it anyway, but we'll see what we're up against. First thing is just trying to get them off. Well, I think we got her loose. Here, that or we broke it. We got her. There we go. Okay, yes, that's one. No, sir, I ain't coming. Well, I took out the big gun and it worked. No, it didn't. What happened is we have a casualty now. The oil cooler is now broken. You can kind of see how it twisted off there. You can see how it bent in. Yeah. So I guess that'll be the solution now, is crank it right off and the oil cooler will be removed. Done. Yeah. Well, the good news is I can probably take this out now. There we are. Yep. So I use I've actually got these fittings from oil coolers I've done on my DSMs. So I can fit that in just to protect it and so it doesn't leak all over. It's still leaking a bit. I did it in this one and we'll put that in there. Well, that's going to wrap it up, I think, for this episode. We'll leave it as a little bit of a challenge there that we did with the oil cooler and a few things, but so far we've got most of this front. I think we've got all the front stuff off. I've got some of the body bolts left, but as far as the accessories and stuff that come up to the front that stay with the chassis or stay with the body, we got that. So we're good there. And on the next episode, I plan to tackle the many things in the rear near the engine bay. We'll see how challenging those things are and what I'm trying to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that air conditioning pump out by itself or if I am going to have to disconnect the lines. Don't want to do that if I don't have to, but we'll see. I got to try. I know a few of the bolts are going to actually have some trouble trying to get out. So what have I learned so far in this car? Some of the highlights are gasoline burns the skin, proportional basically to how much gallons you put on yourself. So I spilt a lot of fuel on me and it definitely started burning on my skin. So I had to kind of break and pause and take a shower after that because I did spill a lot of fuel on me, as you've seen in the video. But all's good, all's good. The other thing that was quite a challenge was two-seater cars. I haven't worked on one before, but when you work on that interior, especially under the dash, it is downright uncomfortable, especially in the small interior that this is. I definitely found that a challenge, and the comfort level was definitely there. There's no way you can stretch your legs out like you can if you take the seat out of a normal car that has a back seat, 2+2s or whatever you got sedan. So that was a challenge as well. The other thing that I found out, definitely after looking at this car, but Colin Chapman's, the founder of Lotus, he had a motto of simplify and then add lightness. Definitely when they simplified this, it also shed a lot of pounds. So it works hand in hand with the simplify and lightness motto that he had. You definitely see it in this car for sure. I know I'm going to learn a lot more in this car. I hope to let you guys learn along with me, and I think some of you that have already commented have experience on these cars, which I'm already finding helpful. So please keep that coming as well. Thanks so much for watching this episode. If you want to catch more of them, make sure you subscribe, Share if you feel there's others that would like to see this content. Plus, I have other content as well. This is just the Lotus series, but I've got other cars around and other things I do as well if you're interested in that. So until the next episode, enjoy every day and always make it right.